Okay, now once you have the part completely modeled and you have the drawing finished, now is where you're going to go in and start tool pathing the part or getting the part ready for manufacturing. Now there should be two tabs here, SOLIDWORKS CAM and SOLIDWORKS CAM TBM. If you don't have those tabs up, you can right click here and then check them. So I just checked them on, so I'm right clicking, get in on any of those tabs and have SOLIDWORKS CAM working. The other thing you can do is, if you notice how I'm arrowing over here, so then you can click on this one, the SOLIDWORKS CAM feature tree. All right, so I'm gonna have the feature tree ready here. So I clicked on that and I turned on SOLIDWORKS CAM. You're going to start working in this area over here. So you're going to start with defining machine, then you're going to go to coordinate system, stock manager, and then setup. So you're working from left to right. So I'm going to click on define machine. Now, hopefully I went through with importing the technology database onto your machine, so that everything is looking like. Now, it's very important that you are seeing right here this tool list 1 through 11 on your screen as you're seeing it on mine. So only one thing I want you to do here, I want you to check use tool crib tools only. Post processor should be the Cent 6 here. Posting, that's all good. Setup, that should be, and everything else should be the same. So then you hit OK. So over here in your history tree, you should see machine Milltronics. Then you start working top down. So coordinate system. Now, my coordinate system, this is how I drew the part, but this isn't correct. The Z should be pointing up. All right. So I can start flipping these, or let's say x-axis along this edge. I'm going to flip that. The z-axis is along this edge, so I'm clicking that. And that's pretty much the orientation I want it. X is pointing to the right, Y is pointing up, and Z is pointing towards you. That is very important that you have that. And then you accept that. All right, now, then we click on Stock Manager. All right, so then Stock Manager, just leave it defaulted to the 6061. Aluminum alloys. Coordinate system would be the FCS. That's what we just defined right there. We are not loading anything else in here, so that all should look good. Accept that. Then click on Setup, Mill Setup. It's not the front plane. Your mill setup plane is this face. So you should see this arrow pointing down. And then accept that. Okay, all that looks pretty good. Now you're going to click on Extract Machinable Features. So basically it's going to look at your parts and see what needs to be milled on your part. Alright, so now you have these three. You have a rectangular pocket here. You have this rectangular pocket, and you have this the countersink holes, which looks good. That's what it should look like. You should have those three separate defined machinable features. Then from there, we've already done this. Now we're going to go generate operation plan. So let it chunk through that. Now, as you look at these, now these are now assigned to your tools. So it's a rough mill, 2 rough mill operations. One thing I don't like, I'm seeing this .06 flat end mill. That is a 16th end mill. We got a 1/2 inch end mill, and we got a 1/8 inch contour mill, and the 2 drills. The only thing in here I don't like is this 16th end mill here. So I'm going to right click on that one. I'm going to delete that because I know I'm not going to use a 16th end mill for anything on here. Okay, now that all looks pretty good. Then I'm going to generate tool paths. right? From this point, I'm going to simulate the tool pass. Now make sure everything looks pretty good. So I'm going to hit the play button here. Okay, so it's going and using the 1/8 inch tool to machine out that pocket. Stepping over. And then goes through and looks like it's going to do a finish pass. Oh, now whatever it's doing here, I do not like. That shouldn't be doing that. So we're going to have to go and modify this tool path. Okay, now that I'm looking back at my tool paths, the one that this one right here, like I said, is we're not going to use it because this contour mill takes care of what we want it done. So again, I'm right clicking and then I'm going to delete that one. So if you don't like these in your recycle bin, you can remove those. So I'm right click and removing them. So just to clean that up. All right, then I'm going to go back in. Once I've gotten rid of that one, I'm going to simulate again one more time. I'm going to speed up the simulation here a little bit. Of course, your part's not going to cut this quick. All right, that all looks good except for one spot here. You notice that it's left this little cusp in each of those corners. All right. So I'm going to go into that contour toolpath and right-click and edit definition. Now what I want you to do is I want you to click on this corner tab here, and on the external corners, I want you to loop those, and let's do a loop of 0.0625, and let's see if, and let's put this at 180, and let's see if that cleans those up. And hit OK, and then hit OK again. Now you notice now there's a little bit more tool path or a looping in there in that corner. So I'm going to go through and simulate again. Hit play and see if that took care of it. All right, good. It looks like it did take care of it. So that's all cleaned up in there. All right, from here, once you have the tool paths all dialed in, you're going to go on Save CL File. Now make sure you know where these files are going. And I'm going to save it. Then I'm going to, again, I'm working from left to right. You don't have to do the step through tool paths. Just hit Save CL. Then you want to hit Post. And again, make sure you know where this file is going. Doesn't look like anything happened here. You're going to hit the check mark. Whoa, no, sorry. So I'm not going to hit the check mark. I'm going to hit the play button. And then notice it generated all the code. Then you're going to accept that. And then you should get this. You should get all the fancy code. Now, this is where you want to, again, save this code to your H drive so you have a copy of it, because there's going to be some modifications we're going to need to do it. But I also like you to print it off. So click on print it off, because there's some things in here that currently don't look, currently that we need to talk about. All right. So that's basically that's the manufacturing end of it. I will show you how to manipulate these files and then bring them into the Sense6 controller. That'll be our next steps.